Hi, listener. Thanks for pressing play on this episode of the Jock and Nerd podcast. We geek out over new trailers for Pacific Rim Uprising, Justice League, Star Wars, The Last Jedi, and more. Plus, Thor Ragnarok early reactions are out. Lots of people crashing into and out of comic book stores. And Joe Quesada's handyman has got to be the dumbest criminal in the world. Also, listener email and an appropriate amount of tangents. All in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Thursday, October 12th, 2017.
Run boy approve.
Check. Check one. All right. This is really fans out there. Let's give it up.
We talking, we nerded. We funny, disturbing. We talking, we nerded. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah. We talking, we nerded. We funny, disturbing. Oh yeah. We talking, we nerded. We spoiler alert. Give it up one time.
Oh yeah, what's up? Hello, listener. Welcome to another episode of the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we pump out comic book, superhero, and pop culture related news, reviews, and interviews every week. Jock and Nerd, right to your ear holes. Glad to have you. My name is Imran.
My name is Rugberto Bambino,
He's the Rug Boy.
and he's the nerd.
Now, if you are a first-time listener, you're probably really confused because I just called this the Jock and Nerd podcast, and now here's the Nerd and Rug Boy podcast. Well, our usual jock, Anthony, if you listened last week, he warned us.
Yeah, what's he doing?
He warned us last week. He said if the Cubs are playing, I may miss a couple of shows. So he is watching the Cubbies, the Chicago Cubbies in the playoffs, and I believe it's like a do or die situation.
He is a jock. Wow.
He's such a jock. It's a win or go home type of game. You know, those win or go home deals there, Rugs?
I don't give a shit. It's sports.
Me neither. I mean, I'm sure it's exciting, but whatever. Let's move on with our lives.
That's why he's the jock.
That's why he's the jock. So that's why what we're going to do, we'll have a quick show this week. Here's the rundown. We got a bunch of news, New York Comic-Con news, a lot of trailers dropped during the Comic-Con, after the Comic-Con. Yeah. We'll talk about Thor Ragnarok and the MCU a little bit. And then I got an email, and that's about it. We will postpone our Game of Thrones first time run-through watch update till next week, because I want Anthony to be here. And
yeah, it should be that. He should be here, of course.
Yeah, so that's fine. We'll push it back. If you are a new listener, we have just discovered Game of Thrones like the assholes that we are. Only 7 years too late.
Late to the party.
Rug Boy, you've seen all of it, to your credit, but Anthony and I, this is the first time. So this is the first time we're going through this, and boy, it's been quite a journey, season by season. I'm up to the end of season 5, so the next time we talk, it will be season 5 review.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I'm going to be
getting all the way through it, though.
I'm powering through
Fast.
it. I'm trying to slow down. I will reveal. I'm just going to blow Anthony's spot and say he's done watching all of it. And I think he's starting over at the beginning again. He may lap me in this.
He's going to watch it again?
I think he started and watched some at the beginning again. He may lap me. Listen, there's a long time before the next season. So I'm just going to take my time. It's cool. We got plenty of things to talk about. This week, let's get to the news.
The Jock and Nerd podcast.
Listener, if you want to get in touch with the show, if you want to interact, we encourage it. Send us your thoughts via text or voice. You just got to visit our website, jockandnerd.com/contact, for all the various ways to get in touch. Also, just visit the website, jockandnerd.com. If you put / and any number of the show, like this one, jockandnerd.com/190, it will take you to the show notes, where I have links to all the things we talk about. So you can follow along, and the show notes are going to be important today, Rugs. Why? Because we're going to talk about a lot of trailers. So if you want to play along, you've probably seen the trailers, or pause, hit the link in the app, in your show notes, watch the trailer, come back.
I just want to run a disclaimer.
Yes.
I have no idea what the fuck we're talking about today.
I'm
like so out of sorts. You don't even know. I'm like, I feel like I just crawled out of a sewer.
Listen, it's been a crazy week for everybody, you know, so a lot of times, Rugs, let me know if you agree. This podcast, we try to be entertaining on the listener end, but on this end, a lot of times this is like therapeutic for us at times, right? Sometimes you need it just to stay sane during the week. Do you agree?
Sometimes it makes me more crazy, actually. It works against my sanity.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, shit.
Because
that's
like
not
all
the
of a
effect.
sudden I'm like, oh, I gotta watch some bullshit and I gotta talk about it and be funny.
Yeah, but you
So
could.
it's like,
but
how do
you-
I do that?
You could be yourself. You let loose. You just let us know what you
Is
think.
that entertaining for the guy who's sitting there listening to the podcast that like Rug Boy clearly has no idea what the fuck he's talking about? Does it make it more funny? Who knows?
We'll find out. Let us know. Visit jockandnerd.com/contact. Let us know. We'll find out if Rug Boy's full of bullshit cotton or not. We're starting with this first trailer. Look, we're going to start with some trailers for TV shows. This book called Happy is being adapted to a show on the SyFy network. They just put out their first trailer.
Yeah, I have no idea what this is.
All right, so
Describe it to me.
click the link. This is based on a comic book by Grant Morrison with art by Derek Robertson. It was 4 issues in 2013, and the book is basically about an ex-cop who's gone bad, and he gets a near-death situation, and he wakes up, and there's a blue imaginary flying horse, tiny horse that only he can see, that talks to him and advises him. So we have Chris Maloney from Law and Order playing the cop. I forgot. I forgot what the cop's name is. I think it's Nick. And then the voice of Happy is Patton Oswalt. This trailer, if you watch it, it's got a crazy
Sounds good.
Yeah, the trailer's crazy. It's got all these crazy quick zooms, frenetic pacing. It's trippy and violent. And Happy is a unicorn. He's actually a unicorn that flies.
Let me watch it and then we'll speed into the future.
Time jump.
Jock and Nerd.
All right, Ruggs, what'd you think of the trailer? Pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It starts
I
with
don't
the
know if
guy.
I'm gonna watch this.
No?
I feel like I have a seizure watching this thing.
It's very, it reminds me of like Train Spotting. You know why it looks like that? Because it's written and directed by the guy who did Crank, the Crank movies.
Oh, that explains a
Yeah.
lot.
Also, one of the producers from the Fast and the Furious is
That doesn't
on
really
this.
mean much.
That doesn't mean much, but it's the guy who made you Crank. So this is why you have this like hyper realized cokehead trippy. Like the guy shoots himself in the head and there's blood and he's dancing. Wow. I gotta check it out. I gotta check out at least the pilot. To me, this is the kind of the crazy shit that's right up my alley. I was like, this is nuts.
This is one of those things that I could look at the trailer and go, I'm not watching this, and then end up watching.
Yes.
But it depends. Who knows? It's the flip of a coin.
It's pretty frenetic and insane. Check it out. This is will premiere December 6th on SyFy. The comic book was very good, and this looks dark, and they're swearing, and there's a line about him slicing his penis off like bologna, which I thought was funny.
Whoa. I feel like it works better as a comic.
It
maybe.
might.
I don't know.
It might. It's to be seen. Patton
But I say
Oswalt,
that a lot.
Yeah, Patton Oswalt does a pretty good job with the voice, but you could tell it's him, which a little bit takes me out of it because I just see Patton Oswalt because his voice is that recognizable. But I'm going to check it out. This one's crazy. Let's move on to another one. This is an original series that you can only watch if you have the Hulu, because it is a Hulu's originals, and it's Marvel's Runaways. Ruggs, did you get to watch this trailer?
I read the comic. I did not see the trailer.
All right, click it. We're going to do a time jump.
All right. Here we go.
Time jump.
Jock and Nerd.
Okay,
All right.
Ruggs, what'd you think about that one? Listener, click the link, watch it. What are your thoughts on Runaways?
That looks like maybe a little bit more my speed than the guy with the flying horse, but I don't know. It looks kind of like an ABC Family TV series or something.
It does have that feel. I think the music doesn't help. The music made it seem like it's some teeny bopper ABC Family thing. They do. You get the guys look like they do from the comic book. Like that one character with the glasses and the tall hair looks exactly like the dude from the comic. And you get the whole thing about they're the kids of parents who are in a evil supervillain clan. You see a little bit of powers. They don't really show you a lot. Just some glowy shit.
Yeah, there's not really that much going on in the way of dazzling special effects or action.
Not at all. It seems very teeny soap opera. This one, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna watch. I'm the opposite. I'll definitely watch Happy. This one, I was like, it's not for me. I don't know. It's kind of like how I felt about Riverdale.
I will watch
I don't like
it.
the Riverdale.
Well, I watched the first episode of Riverdale, and I actually thought it was better than I thought it was going to be, but I didn't watch the series. I was like, okay, I just want to see what this is.
Okay.
Just to get the tone. And I might do the same thing with this. Watch it, get the tone, and go, okay, it's cool. And I don't need to see any more. If it doesn't really grab me, I won't watch it. It's just not. I don't have time for this shit.
No, there's too many things.
Yeah, there's too many things that are way better than this to watch.
That's true. This one, November 21st on Hulu. And the comic was very good. Brian K. Vaughan came out in 2003. Okay, let's move on to some movies. We talked about a little bit about Pacific Rim Uprising last week with some images. Now we have the first trailer with John Boyega and a really crappy like porn mustache. I don't know why he has that mustache.
I like the porn star.
I didn't realize he was British also.
Yeah, he is.
But he's very British in this. Ruggs, after last week, you were complaining about some of the designs of some of the kaiju and the mechs. What did you think of this trailer for this movie?
There is a definite lack of Guillermo del Toro's detail.
Oh, yeah.
And definitely his eye for things. I could see what they're doing, but I don't know if it's... Okay, let me blanket this. It looks like it's going to be fun.
Yes, right? I agree.
So I said that.
Yes.
Okay, that's positive.
Absolutely.
It looks like there's going to be some crazy shit going on. Like there's going to be fighting and there's going to be action. Like we know that we're going to have like a thrill ride to a certain degree. But there's something missing in the weight of these mechs.
Will it be memorable after it's over?
Yeah, these mechs all kind of look the same. There's like Pacific Rim all had all of these different looking mechs that had and they were like these lumbering, slow moving things and Striker Eureka was like the one newest one, and you could tell because it was more agile and whatever. And then the older ones like Gypsy Danger and the other ones were kind of like more lumbering and heavy and kind of like tough. These guys all look like they're like Gundams or something.
They do look like Gundams. They look like toys, but you know what? I'm kind of digging, I don't think they look the same. That one shot where they're clearly three different weapons, three different styles. One of them looks like an Iron Man Hulkbuster suit, and the other one has that large, round weapon.
It's like a mace or something.
Yeah, it's like a mace that's retractable that he throws on a chain.
Ball and chain.
And the kaiju look pretty bad. It looks like a lot of destruction, but like you said, it looks fun and entertaining as the first movie.
It's like Pacific Rim Light. I said it last time.
Yeah.
It looks like a light version of Pacific Rim. It doesn't have like all of the grit and the real kind of, I don't know. There's some gravitas to it. There's some weight to it. There's just not. It feels like too light.
However, if I'm going in, just wanting like a fun popcorn blockbuster, I think this thing will deliver.
I'm pretty sure it will too. I'm just trying to be critical for being just because I love Guillermo del Toro and I love that he materialized this idea. Like basically, what happens is Pacific Rim was a incarnation of Evangelion, right?
Right.
It was like a Americanized version, or like very highly influenced by Evangelion. But Evangelion, the Evas, they're all like these really agile, like they jump on the air and they flip and shit. They move really fast. They don't move like lumbering beasts. So maybe they're trying to incorporate that into it, or some of the Japanese animation aesthetics into it. But I don't know if it makes it as badass that way. It kind of takes you out of the reality a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But I do like that they're doing a lot of the stuff in the daytime, even though it does make it look like less ominous.
It does. That's true. There's a lot of just bright daytime. You see everything, and it becomes a little too glossy almost.
Yeah, there's no mystery to it.
When you do that, demystifying things. This is directed by Stephen S. DeKnight, who was on the first season of Daredevil, produced by Guillermo, but not written.
You remember the rich colors and the neon and how the light would bounce off of things?
Yeah.
Remember when you walked through the Shatter Dome in Pacific Rim where there's this atmosphere in there and there's like, they're using a torch and there's like fucking all these sparks flying all over the place. It's fucking great.
I always thought, though, it was a little dark for me. It was like just value-wise, it's a pretty dark, hard to see things.
I agree, but still there's something to that darkness.
Yeah. But it was like too dark. I was like, I want to see a little bit. I remember thinking, I want to see a little bit more, but like this is just showing you everything now.
Well, I'm not completely shitting on it. I'm just pointing out the difference.
You will check it out in the theater, do you think?
I'll be there.
You'll be there?
Opening week.
All right, well, you know what? We'll review it. It's the new Pacific Rim movie. We'll see. It'll be a fun.
I hope that this franchise continues.
Yeah, let's see if it's got legs after this. and where they leave it off. Okay, let's move into the two big trailers that dropped last week. The first being I guess this is the final Justice League trailer. And, well, we get a lot of the same. Let's just start at the beginning of this trailer, where finally, who do we get to see? Motherfucking Clark Kent.
Oh, shit.
There he is in a cornfield. But, oh, guess what? It's all a dream. So, Ruggs, my question to you. Over, under, how many dream sequences we think Justice League has? Like, you think it's less than 3, more than 14?
Joss Whedon took out some of the dreams. I think the dreams, if you edit out the dreams from BVS,
yes,
it's a better movie.
It's a more coherent movie. You think Joss Whedon came in, he's like, I have to edit out 7 dream sequences and somehow make this thing work.
They gotta get rid of these dream sequences. I mean, 1 is okay. Maybe 2 at most. But I think 2 is even too much.
Zack Snyder loves his dream sequences. And we also, again, we saw, like, it's a lot of stuff we've seen in different places. Like, you see Steppenwolf land from the sky again. And he did that in the last trailer, which is cool. And you can almost kind of see Ciaran Hin's face a little bit in these shots, like how because they like mocapped him and then put his face on top of this CGI Steppenwolf. What do you think of how Steppenwolf looks in this?
He's serviceable.
Yeah.
It's not like I can't really shit on it. It's okay. This Wonder Woman standing on that statue looks suspect.
Okay, you know what? I get the metaphor, the symbolism. That is like the Statue of Justice, but it looks kind of silly. It looks weird, right? It looks a little silly.
It just looks like, it just looks like a bad green screen or something.
It does. There's just something awkward about how she's standing on there. But she does another smile thing. You see Amazons versus Parademons, more of the invasion. And then we see the bat signal. I think it's the first time we've seen the bat signal. They didn't have it in the last movie. You see Cyborg's got like a heads-up display. Some funny lines from Bruce Wayne, where Momoa's like, a strong man is strongest alone. And he goes, that's not the saying. That's the opposite of the saying. That's quirky stuff. But my one concern is Aquaman. Because here in this one, it's a great shot where he's flying around, he falls, he's killing parademons, Cyborg grabs him, he's like, ride's not over yet. And he's just like, my man, oh yeah. Yeah, like, is this all he's gonna be saying in the whole movie? Like, is this all the Aquaman we're gonna get Momoa just going, yeah?
He's happy to kick ass, Aquaman.
He's really happy to be riding, flying around, They do a fastball special. They do their own version. Did you know that? Where
I saw that.
Cyborg throws him.
I mean, look, it doesn't look as dour as BVS. It looks like it's a step in like a more light direction, or a little bit more of a superhero-y direction.
Yes.
So, I don't know. I have to wait and see. I can't really get my hopes up for this shit.
No, I know.
But I'm hoping that it's... Because, I don't know, like, when I was watching this trailer, I was like, wow, they put a lot of fucking dough into this movie.
Yes.
They really were like... They're really trying to make, like, a comic book come to life.
They got more red skies and just fucking crazy parademons everywhere.
It looks like a comic book come to life,
It
more
does.
so than even some of the Marvel movies.
I mean, I'll agree. It looks pretty. It looks fantastic. My only concern still is, like, there's no sense of, like, any substantive story at all in any of these trailers.
It's like they have to come together to fight this guy.
And that's really
all
it.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Like, is that going to be the movie? Like, I don't see any more depth. I know they're trailers. I get it. And hopefully they were wise and didn't, we had the Doomsday reveal with the Batman versus Superman trailers that ruined everything. This time, clearly, I feel like Superman's going to be evil at the end. You're going to show up, it's going to be evil Superman. That's how this thing wraps.
I hope that's not what it is, but
because all they've shown us is that dream sequence. What's the story? But it looks fucking amazing. I will agree. It looks fucking sick, which is what the Zack Snyder is good at.
Lois Lane has to die for Superman to be evil, though.
Yeah, remember the dream within the dream and what the Flash said and blah, blah, blah. So maybe he comes back and she dies and he goes evil and he's got a black suit. And November 17th, we will find out whether it's worth
coming up soon.
It's coming up soon. All right, moving on to the most recent trailer.
I only saw this once.
We are talking about Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Released a second trailer. This is also a second trailer. A trailer that the director, Rian Johnson, warned ahead of time it could be too spoilery, for some
Right.
people, which I thought that was interesting. I was like, is this hype? Is this some kind of weird trick reverse thing they're pulling?
Right.
But what'd you think, Ruggs? What'd you think of the trailer? Did you think it was too spoilery?
I don't know. Maybe it could be misdirection. You
Right?
think you could edit it together to make it look like there's one narrative and it actually be another.
And there's a lot of things in this trailer that they seem to be doing that. Like you see Kylo Ren flying around, putting his finger on the trigger, going into a ship, and then it cuts to General Leia. You know, that's
yeah, that
leading
could
us-
be cut together that way.
That could be cut together. And the big reveal, of course, at the end is where Rey is like, I need someone to help me find my place with all this. And it cuts to Kylo Ren extending his hand. Now, that could be two completely different scenes. I do, again, a lot of red and black, kind of like in the Justice League trailer. I do really enjoy. I think it looks really pretty. I love the white against the black against the red. It looks like it's shot amazing.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
It looks beautiful. But you know what I like about these Star Wars trailers is that they also isn't much sense of a story, but the sense of like the themes are there, and it leaves you asking so many questions. Like I think they really do a really good job with these main episode trailers, Force Awakens
Why
and this
is
one.
Kylo Ren wearing tape on his face?
Well, he has some sort of first order fucking Band-Aid on his face. I thought he would have like
yeah,
little-
what is it with the like? What is that? What is that shit called?
That's
the graphite Band-Aid or whatever.
yeah, there's that thing you rub on that like there's you could use super glue also. Are you talking about like the kinesthetic tape that some
yeah, like
those
he
people
just
use?
finished working out on his face.
on his face? He was doing face
Like he's-
exercises.
yeah.
and he needs to loosen them up. Yeah, he totally has like a weird. I guess he couldn't find a Hello Kitty one. I don't know. That's what I'd be wearing.
We should Photoshop a Hello Kitty on.
He should be wearing a Hello Kitty Band-Aid. He doesn't have the Band-Aid by the end of the trailer. But it does. I mean, there's like so many questions. Like you see Porgs yell. That's cute. Good space battles.
Why are people caring about the poor?
I don't know. They're just cute. I saw somewhere that they may be like penguins crossed with corgis, and that's why they're called Porgs. It's a penguin and a corgi had a baby.
I hate when people get all fucking excited about bullshit.
I do like when
you hear about this Rick and Morty stuff? Let's go on a tangent. Right.
what the Szechuan McDonald's sauce?
Yeah.
What's the? I don't understand.
Who is the asshole going to fucking McDonald's getting sauce?
So I've only watched a few episodes of Rick and Morty. I don't understand what this whole deal is with the Szechuan McDonald's sauce and how everyone is just losing their
All
shit.
right,
over
so there's an episode where he basically goes back in time or something to go get this sauce
okay.
because for some reason Rick can make anything, but he can't make this fucking sauce. I don't know why. Like he can literally invent anything.
Okay.
But this sauce for some reason escapes him, so he has to go and he goes back in time to get the sauce, and they mention it a bunch of times that he's going back to get the sauce, and he's whatever, and then all the fans that watch the show are just insane, and so
Was it from McDonald's in the show?
it's from McDonald's. When Mulan came out, they did like
Limited
the
edition.
chicken nuggets came in like a Chinese food box.
Okay.
And it has
Okay.
Szechuan dipping sauce.
Okay.
And you know this sauce is just fucking barbecue sauce. It's just teriyaki sauce.
Yes, with added
That's all
sugar.
It is.
Well, yeah, I saw people are like buying tubs of it, or they're going to every McDonald's to grab all they can.
They made an announcement saying that we're going to release these special Rick and Morty
Sauce
sauces.
packets.
Yeah, sauce packets. And like they had no idea how many people watched the show or were going to show up.
Right.
So they literally gave like each McDonald's like a ridiculously low amount, like maybe like 100 packets.
Oh, she's causing a riot amongst Rick and
all
Morty
these
fans.
fuckers show up and there's no sauce.
Where's my fucking Szechuan sauce, bitch? How could you do that? How
dare you do this to us?
You couldn't have more Szechuan sauce, you
But like,
bastards.
that's where I'm going back to the porgs. Like these people,
Yes.
everybody, it's like if you can make it a meme,
Yes.
it just takes on a life of its own, and it has nothing to do with anything.
No, instant obsession. I mean, it's the Ewoks of this trilogy.
Yeah, people hate the
And
Ewoks.
people hated the fucking Ewoks. They're just
I don't
tiny
get it.
Wookiees.
Why?
I don't know why you're getting obsessed with the Porgs, but
Internet, why? Why are you doing this?
Speaking of internet, did you see what someone? You know that they also have you seen this poster, the new Last Jedi poster that's all red and it's got the heads and Luke's in the center. Have you seen where someone superimposes Darth Vader's helmet over it and compositionally it like fits the poster? Meaning Luke at the top is in Darth Vader's helmet, Rey is in one eye, Kylo Ren is in the other eye, Carrie Fisher perfectly hits the nose piece, and even the ships on the bottom forming these V's of dirt kind of mimic his collar. Did you see this, Ruggs? Do you think this was intentional? If it was, it's pretty sick.
That is really fucking crazy, but I don't know.
Do you think they did that on purpose? It matches up pretty good. I've seen more than one people.
What's the poster look like without Darth Vader at all?
So I have this image with the three of them, and the first one just has it lightly. The first one all the way on the left.
Yeah, but that's obscuring. I want to see the poster without anything.
That's pretty much what it looks like.
But I see Darth Vader's face there.
On the very first one, very lightly.
Yeah, but it's still...
All right, well, fucking Google it.
It's like I want to see it without it, so this is informing my view. Let me see if I can find it on the internet.
You'll find it right away. It's pretty eerie. If this is intentional, it's pretty genius. I kind of love when they do stuff like this, and there's this much thought been put into it.
Yeah, that doesn't look like Darth Vader at all, but I can see it kind of. There is a deliberate, like, see that when you look at the poster itself,
yeah,
you see that there's a deliberate triangle shape being formed, and where Star Wars is placed is it's deliberate. It's definitely deliberate.
It kind of forms the triangle, the bottom of the mouth.
I mean, I wouldn't say it from the top.
Yeah.
But definitely where Leia is and that triangle is, that's a little bit too on the nose right there.
It's pretty cool. So, like, I'm excited for this movie because, like, all the questions, like, is Rey going to flip to the dark side? Is Kylo going to come to the light side? Will Luke go bad? Will there be a great Jedi? Who you see Snoke? Who the fuck is Snoke? Who's force choking her? I love how they have just made you think of all these questions watching this trailer.
Well, on one hand, it's actually kind of good that there's all these questions.
Yes, no, I love that. I kind of love that. Because it gets me to go in and see the movie, and they're selling the movie without showing the movie. I did have an interesting article here about how they cut their trailers and what they decide not to spoil. I think it's a really good example for other studios to see how they did that. Who said this? Rian Johnson said a year ago, maybe even more than that, my producer, Ram Bergman, and I sat down with the folks at Lucasfilms and said, okay, this is what we're going to reveal here and there, and this stuff we're never going to reveal until the movie comes out. We came up with a no-fly list of under no circumstances is this shown or that shown. It's a fascinating process. It's something that for me, just having been a fan my whole life, suddenly being behind the curtain and seeing how it works and seeing how deliberate it is has been really fascinating. So that whole comment he said about it may be too spoilery, no, they cut this thing on purpose like that because they have better shit. I love this. I love how they do this. Like, I think it was successful with The Force Awakens also.
Well, the thing is with Rian Johnson, they're very pleased with what he did.
Yeah,
so.
no problems there. He didn't get fired through the shoot, before the shoot, at the end of the shoot.
No. So he's obviously got a plan. So I believe that he's got a lot more in store here. There's going to be some surprises.
December 15th.
Hopefully there's a jaw-dropping moment.
Yeah, I think there's got to be a big one. And I don't feel like it looks like Empire Strikes Back. Like, that's what I was afraid of. But I'm not getting that. I don't know.
I think that they did deliberately, just for nostalgia's sake, made this one a very dark movie.
Yeah, which is
in tone.
I'm good. I'm good with that. I'm looking forward to that December 15th Star Wars. You can already buy your tickets to this movie that comes out on December 15th.
Well, because you need to lose all hope at some point, so you can now rally back in the third one.
Yeah, it's got to end. It's got to end with like Luke dying or turning to the dark side or somebody sacrificing themselves. I agree. It's got to be.
Maybe the Porg gets new Jedi.
Maybe the Porg becomes the Emperor and kills everybody.
Yes.
Something that cute. It's got to be really deadly. That's all I'm thinking. There's a reason it's that cute. All right, look, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to play a couple of promos. It's 2 pods a day month. Hashtag starts the hashtag. And actually today, day 12 was the day we were up. So I retweeted that. Hopefully new listeners are checking us out and you listener are finding new shows to listen to like these.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Are you a fan of movies?
Or comics?
Or video games?
Or just anything else nerdy?
Well, you should check out the Zing This Podcast. And that's spelled
Zeng.
This. And you can find us every Monday. And we have nerdy topics from comic book reviews to in-depth analysis of iconic nerdy movies, as well as video game discussions.
Mm-hmm.
Where's some of the best places to find us, Allie?
Well, Podbean, of course.
You can also find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play,
Anywhere else you listen to your podcast. Yeah.
So check us out. Once again, that is
Zing This.
Hey, this is the Toph, host of the Gravity Beard Podcast, a variety show with interviews and discussions on a wide range of topics. Our guests have included a viral YouTube star, a former child actor. We've even had a guy on who may have solved the D.B. Cooper case. It's a delicious box of audio chocolate. You never know what you'll get. Find it on Podbean, iTunes, and other places you listen to podcasts. It's the Gravity Beard Podcast. It's what your ears will want to be listening to.
Hey folks, my name is Trip Lano, and I am one of the co-hosts of Dissecting the 80s, here with my tag team partner,
Andrew Lano.
Every other week, we get together and talk about a weird 80s movie, making fun of the clothes and the drama and the hair. And we also have fun little side discussions, like I try to make every romantic scene underscored by roll to me.
Has there ever been like the Nicholas Sparks swamp?
She was a girl. He was a swamp. Go around the world, pretty baby.
That's not Nicholas Sparks. That's late 90s. She's all that. And I try and talk the logistics of how flying cars would work.
So are the medians going to have like football goalposts to make them higher now so you don't cross into oncoming traffic?
Yeah.
What happens if the guy in second row over, third car down, needs to get off to the right?
I should have thought of that.
So if you want a little more of that, check us out at dissectingthe80s.com or
available wherever fine podcasts are sold.
And
What's up, listener? Thanks for listening to the show. As always, we appreciate your support, whether it's sharing the show, spreading the word, or actually joining our awesome fan club and financially helping us keep the show going. Just visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon, where you can sign up and you will get bonus content. You get access to an exclusive feed. Isn't that what the kids? I think that's what the kids are saying these days, right, Ruggs? It's super exclusive. I got a podcast feed. It's a must exclusive. Miscusey. And you get bonus content such as, here's what's great, Ruggs. Matt Talhauer, he's so awesome. He's a great contributor. He's on the Patreon. He sent in bonus content for our Patreon fans. You can hear Matt Talhauer's instant reaction right after he walked out of seeing Blade Runner 2049. And he had some great thoughts. It's real quick. That's up there for our patrons. But an even bigger thing, everybody, just today, moments before we started to record, I get an email saying, we've got a new patron.
Oh, shit.
Yes. And it is at the level of super patron.
Whoa.
Here's an email from our new patron, John Seifert. He writes, just pledge money to you guys. Spend it wisely. I'm a truck driver, and you guys have helped me pass many a mile markers wearing a big dumb grin on my big dumb face. Thanks for the show. I know you sometimes, almost always, most often, typically, give it all you've got. Remember, rugs, not drugs.
Talking nerd.
John Seifert, he joins Joe Henry at the super patron level. You know what that means, John? You get to come on the show. You've earned your right to come on and hang out with us. So we will get to meet John Seifert in the future. And thank you, everybody. That's awesome, dude. I was so,
Geek boner.
I still have a geek boner. My pants are fitting really weird right now this whole time because John.
Thanks, John. We appreciate it. We need more people like you, John.
We need you to grow. jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Be like John. Okay, we got a couple of pieces of MCU news I want to go over real quick because Thor Ragnarok is the next MCU movie we're going to get. I think we're all excited for that one. The Ragnarok comes out in the UK October 26th, in the US November 3rd. So that's coming up. Early reviews are pretty positive. That's that thing where they haven't lifted the embargo, but people are tweeting their reactions because you can't post a review yet. But reactions such as Thor Ragnarok? Thor?
Can you post emojis like during an embargo?
Oh, you probably could.
Like if you just like poop emojis.
Just Thor Ragnarok, poop emoji, skull emoji, thumbs up. What does that mean?
You didn't say anything.
I didn't say anything. This is how I feel. What people have said is Thor Ragnarok is magnificent. They added so much humor that goes perfect with the action. A goofy good time. Easily the funniest non-Guardians MCU flick. Everyone in it is funny. Great music. After seeing Thor Ragnarok, I'd say Chris Hemsworth's Thor will become many people's number one favorite Avenger. So, sounds like people are digging it. It is confirmed to have 2 post-credit scenes. So, of course, nobody leaves a Marvel movie. I'm hoping one of those, maybe like a trailer or a tease for Infinity War. I don't know if that would be nice.
Could be.
Wouldn't that be nice? Also, according to Mark Ruffalo, Thor Ragnarok starts a Hulk trilogy.
That would be cool.
Geek boner.
Which is lovely because, as you know, Universal owns the rights to a standalone Hulk movie. But it will never get made. Ruffalo said so much himself out of his mouth. They can't make a standalone Hulk movie. So, according to Ruffalo, what he said is Kevin Feige. He says, so basically, Kevin Feige pulled me aside before this and said, if you were going to do a standalone Hulk movie, what would it be? And I said, I think it should be this, and it ends up like this. And he's like, I love that. Why don't we do that in the next 3 movies, starting with Thor 3, and then we go into Avengers 3 and 4, and I was like, that sounds great. So he's getting kind of his own standalone movie broken up in these movies. I think that's a great idea. It sounds like a lot of fun.
I don't get what you just said.
So he's going to have like...
like he said this, and we're going to do that? That's not specific enough.
It's dude.
So they're gonna do a story that unravels between the Thor movies,
between Thor 3, Avengers 3, and Avengers 4, based on Ruffalo's idea. Ruffalo's like, I have this idea. We should do all these things, and Kevin Feige's like, we'll do that. We'll just do it in these 3 movies.
They're not making a movie. They're just making a Hulk story that interweaves between 3 movies.
Correct. It'll be a Hulk character arc that goes through these movies, and
that's not even a story, Imran.
Well, you don't think so? Because him starting to talk is like the beginning of this change and his split personality.
Yeah, but it's not a Hulk movie.
It's not a Hulk movie, but it's but it's the beginning of a Hulk trilogy story arc.
No, but that's misleading. You said like a new Hulk trilogy, like 3 movies with the Hulk in it.
You know how these clickbaity articles are. That's what you got to say to get people interested. And then you let them down by saying it's not really a movie. It's not 3 movies. They can't make a movie. Because Universal owns the right. But, okay, here's something that we will enjoy discussing. This I thought was really interesting. Article from Forbes, that the title is Thor Ragnarok is Marvel's most risk-free movie. Now, look, I'm really looking forward to this movie. It looks like a lot of fun. But what this guy says, basically, is that Thor's got nothing to lose. In the sense that it doesn't have to prove that a superhero movie can do well in November. That's already been proven. It doesn't have to prove that Thor can hang with the big guys. You know, that's already been proven that he can handle a movie on his own. And it doesn't have to prove that fans will love a science fiction space fantasy romp. Guardians of the Galaxy already proved that. So even if it like doesn't do well, like it's not going to hurt the brand. It's got nothing to lose going into its release. I thought it was really interesting.
I think that this is faulty logic as well.
You think so? What do you think? Do you think it has something to lose?
Yeah, people are anticipating this movie. If it sucks, then the brand Marvel's going to suffer as a brand because they're going to be like hyping you up and then letting you down. And I also think that there is a step into this Guardians of the Galaxy 2 where everything's now like slapstick comedy.
That is the interesting thing because
I think that can blow up in their face
too. It might be too much. And if that's what people are coming out already saying, it's funnier that hits like Guardians of the Galaxy. It got a little bit too slapsticky. And should Thor really be like, like a surfer dude and go for the humor? We know a lot of the movie is improv because that's how Waititi works. That's either going to make or break this thing. Do you think this could be the first theatrical flop for Marvel? I hardly think it will be that.
No, I think people are definitely going to go see this movie because the trailers have been great.
Yeah.
Just like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 trailers were pretty good. They were exciting and looked like they were going to be lots of fun. But when I went and sat down in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I felt I was oversaturated with like lame jokes and shit that didn't belong in that movie that was kind of like, let's put in this scene that doesn't fit. I hope that that's not the case here, but we'll see. I mean, I like the Hulk and I like Thor.
That's the thing. Everybody likes Loki, Hulk, and Thor.
But everybody liked the Guardians of the Galaxy too, and I didn't like that movie as much. So,
look, if it for some reason if it does flop, it's just like
it's not gonna flop.
It's not gonna
It'll
flop.
just perform at worst. It'll perform adequately,
which will still be like the best Thor movie out of the three. So
Yeah.
it's not. It doesn't have a high bar in its own like series. So
it has
it's
to be really shitty to basically.
Yeah.
Like if it is, I mean, even if it makes a lot of money because people want to see it, and it ends up being a shitty movie, then that's also it'll hurt the brand because people are gonna be like doubting now Marvel's new direction or current direction.
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing it could just be kind
That's two in a row then.
That's and that's the other thing. They're giving us two of kind of the samey like space fantasy movies back to back, right?
Right. It's gotta if it has some heart to it, if it has some real drama to it, and some just light moments to like for comic relief.
Yeah.
And a little bit of like
but not too
levity,
much. Yes.
That's cool.
Well,
but you don't want it to be like a just complete slapstick, ridiculous movie.
Yeah. That
nobody wants that.
It could be.
I don't know. Every time I meet a person that loved Guardian of the Galaxy 2, I just lose respect for them immediately. I'm like, you really like that was the best movie I've ever seen.
Like,
I'm like,
really?
It's not the. I'm like, all right, okay, I can understand you enjoyed the movie, but come on,
it's not the best.
It's not the best movie.
I just thought this guy's take on it being like
I'm Mary Poppins is such a great line. Oh my God. That was so forced. Like even the way he was coming down on that arrow was completely fucking forced.
And that was like
that doesn't even make sense that he did that.
Well, that was like a last minute like ad lib, I think, is what I read, and they just left it in.
Why is that like, fucking hilarious?
I don't know.
Like I was watching Baby Driver.
Yeah.
And the guy said, "Oh, go get a mask." So we can rob this bank. Go get like something scary like Mike Myers. And he comes back with Austin Powers like Mike Myers, the actor. That's a fucking hilarious
Mike
joke.
Myers,
That is fucking great. Like I had never thought to make that joke ever in my life. But that's a great joke. Like, I'm Mary Poppins? Like, that's not a great joke. And people were like, acting like that's the catchphrase of the year.
You know what?
Like, give me a break, dudes.
Yeah, in the moment it was funny, but like if you go back and watch it again, I could see. Well,
it's cringy.
It is cringy. So does it concern you? We talked about how
it's like dad humor.
Yeah. Well, see, that coming from me, I would like that kind of stuff. But you're right. It's corny. It is dad humor. Does it concern you at all that we've talked about why TT said like a large part of this movie is improv? Like, could that be? That makes me a little bit nervous now if it gets too fucking.
I don't know. I really don't. I can't speculate on improv. I don't know. I just think that sometimes when you have improv, cool shit happens.
Yeah.
Like a lot of cool shit happens, but with improv, but I don't know exactly.
Genuine moments. Yeah. Well,
I've seen his other movie.
Yeah.
His other movie's hilarious.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't know if that should be a Thor movie.
Yeah, is this a comedy? Is this the ending on this comedy series?
Things that we do in the dark.
I have not. I heard it's good.
Oh, you gotta watch that movie. It's fucking amazingly funny.
Is it like a horror? It's a horror comedy?
Yeah, it's just about a bunch of vampires that live together.
Oh.
And it's like, and they just hang out and they just go out on the town and whatever. And they just have like the little foibles and shit. And it's fucking funny, but like, I don't want that in my Marvel movies.
Well, it sounds like it's got good character stuff. So if he can take the humor and the improv and add it to the character and make us, give us some moments of heart, like you said.
Like, there's a reason those guys got fired from the Star Wars movie who made that 21 Jump Street movie. Like, there's a tipping point.
Yeah, it's too much. Kathleen Kennedy don't fuck around.
It's got to be done right. Otherwise...
Well, look, Marvel's never had that issue so far. They've let the directors be themselves, but they're also here's what it needs to be. It's very clear, and everyone falls in line.
All right. Action comedies.
Yeah.
What is the best action comedy ever made?
The best?
Yes.
I mean,
like one that you watch all the time.
Immediately when you said that, like I went back to like the shit from the 80s. Like
what?
Beverly Hills Cop.
Okay.
And that whole era of what was another one that was
but where the action was good and the comedy was good.
Yeah. Last Boy Scout is kind of like an action comedy. What'd you think?
Yeah.
Where it rides that line. I thought the 21 Jump Street, we're talking about Lord Miller. That's a great action comedy ish. The action's pretty good.
Is it really though? There's like a couple of scenes.
There's the one scene on the highway. There's some shooting.
Like I'm talking about the action is equally as good.
As impressive. Rush Hour, you could say, I think definitely makes that list.
I would say not True Romance.
True Lies.
True Lies.
Absolutely,
yes.
absolutely.
All right, True Lies is a great action comedy, but it's not over the top action, like comedic.
Right.
Like it's about a dude whose wife is and that's funny. Like his wife trying to cheat on him and he's behind it and stuff like that. There's no like slapstick whatever nonsense where you're eye rolling.
Well, and it's treated seriously, but the comedy is in a situation.
Funny.
Yeah, it's still funny.
That's what I'm saying. So there is a balance to it. Then there's a part where it goes like Rush Hour almost goes too far, but it's still got good action in it. Right?
It's got great action. The first one, yeah.
Well, now you're complimenting Brett Ratner.
I know. I don't know if we should do that again. Maybe not. It wasn't because of him. It was he was part of it. But this should be an action comedy buddy space movie with some stakes and some heart, and there's a lot going on in Thor. We'll see. We'll see it soon. So I'm still really excited, but I agree. I hope it's just not all fucking jokes.
Now I'm gonna Google best action comedy.
Best action comedy. I got another piece here that I found was really interesting. Kevin Feige's been out as part of the Thor Ragnarok media junket. They had the big premiere, so a lot of interesting stuff came out. Screen Rant asked him about the continuity in the MCU after Spider-Man Homecoming. Where
Ghostbusters
is considered an action comedy. Yeah, that's a great one. What else is under there?
Kick-Ass.
Okay. That's a good one, yeah.
Okay, obviously Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, I was going to say the Shaun of the Dead and the Hot Fuzz. Definitely Shaun of the Dead.
Let's see. True Lies is in there.
True Lies.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, classic.
Bad Boys.
Bad Boys is another good one, yes.
You got Tango and Cash. Deadpool, of course. Shanghai Noon? No, come on.
That's that was Jackie Chan.
Like the world's and anything that dude does.
Yeah,
is
Nick
great.
Frost and Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright movies are great.
Yeah, Edgar Wright. I mean, Baby Driver's pretty funny too.
He really can. He knows he's good with the balance of that stuff. In all of his things. There's heart, there's stakes, there's drama, there's comedy. It's everything, and he does it so well.
Would you put Kingsman up there?
Yeah, I mean that's almost more like a superhero-y, more fantasy.
But it's a comedy.
It's
a comedy. Definitely funny.
I gotta watch that movie again. It was forgettable to me. Like I forgot a lot about it.
Yeah, that's about it. So you're talking about True Lies. I think that's probably the best.
That's the bar. Wow.
I say that True Lies and Beverly Hills Cop are too good, and I would even say Kick-Ass because it's funny, but it's still like fucking brutal.
Yeah, it's violent, and they don't pull back.
And Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead. Yeah,
I'll go with that.
Maybe Thor will join that. Maybe not. We'll see. Look,
we'll see.
Kevin Feige talked about MCU continuity. Were we all confused in Spider-Man where they were like 8 years later from Avengers and we're like, wait, that doesn't add up. What's going on? And then people are like, what the fuck? So this is what Feige said to Screen Rant. They played out, asked him. He goes, all of that debate has encouraged us. We are going to be publishing an official, and I'm not sure when or in what format, an official timeline.
Geek Boner.
It'll probably be a part of in a printout that you can fold out and look at, but suffice to say, only in limited cases do we ever actually say what the actual years are, because we never want to be tied down to a particular year. And I think people assume that whenever a movie is released is when the movie is taking place. And that's not the case. That's what I always thought, is that their continuity was real time, but he's starting to pivot to like, there's this macro sense of our continuity and everything does fit. You guys just can't see the big picture, but it'd be awesome if they publish an official timeline that shows the big picture and that all these things were thought out.
Oh, I can't wait till this timeline comes out and all the nerds.
Oh, they're all going to pick it apart. They're like, wait a minute, Dad.
All of the mansplainers will come out and try and debunk it.
But Daredevil was in Hell's Kitchen and there was an earthquake during this time. Can
you mansplain to another man?
Sure you can. You can man on mansplain.
How about like I'm alpha mansplaining to a beta mansplaining?
Listen, man on mansplaining is hot.
Geek Boner.
Just saying, gets me hot.
How about if you're hydroplaning, you're mansplaining?
You're mansplaining about hydroplaning while you're planing a piece of wood, working the planer.
Yes.
There's a lot of splaining. Lucy, you got some splaining to do. I'm excited for this timeline because I can't wait to pick it apart and see if it's all bullshit or if actually they do have a thing. And we've always thought they had a plan, but it's not real time, people. It's not real time.
Oh, I can't wait for this to be debunked. It's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, of course. Good luck with that. That's why you see how he didn't say when or where. It's probably never going to come out. He's like, we'll do one sometimes.
Bunch of bullshit.
I didn't say when. It may be 20 years. Last piece of Marvel movie news from Fox. Ruggs, get this. Guess which movie got a release date? Guess which movie is not dead after all? Channing Tatum's Gambit gets a February Valentine's Day 2019
Still don't believe it.
Release
I
date.
still do not believe.
I believe this is like
exists.
the second release date it's had.
This movie only exists in Channing Tatum's heart.
Fox still wants to make this. They got Gore Verbinski on it as director.
Oh,
and they've given it a working title of Chess. But they're saying in the wake of Deadpool and Logan's success, they retooled it. They're starting over. This movie's never going to get made. February 14th, 2019.
Yeah, I don't think they should make a Gambit movie.
I don't think, again...
No, but I don't even want to see it.
I honestly... Channing Tatum is charming. I'm sure he'll get the Channing Tatum fans to go see it. That's all they got.
I'm done with Channing Tatum.
But
done with him.
But this movie has been like... it was at one point, it was going to come out in 2016.
Step up, okay? I'm sorry.
In Magic Mike? Not Magic Mike?
I didn't see that. Maybe I should watch.
So allegedly, this movie's coming out in 2019. Whatever. I just thought that was funny. That movie's head pops up again after I totally thought it was dead.
Should I watch a movie about men who sexy dance?
I don't know. What is that? What's that movie called?
Magic Mike.
Gandhi? Oh, Magic Mike. Gandhi is hot.
Schindler's List? Like, what movie are we talking about?
I don't know.
Talking about Magic Mike.
Magic Mike. You have not seen the Magic Mike?
No.
Me neither.
I guarantee you Anthony has.
That's it. He has the Blu-ray. Anthony, hope you're enjoying the baseball game.
He's like, it's kind of like a sport.
Yeah, it's competitive strip dancing.
Yeah. Who's the best?
Who's the best? Look, it's all like CrossFit. It's power from the hips. You gotta find your center of gravity. You gotta work your core. A lot of thrusting. You work you work on your snatch in the gym. You work on your snatch on the stage. It's all good. It's all good, people. That's all I'm saying.
That's a good rationale.
Right? Lifting, whether you're lifting or grinding. Working on snatch, right?
Okay, I'll go with
Oh, shit.
Okay, we're going to wrap up the news with, I got a trio of comics crime wave stories. A trio of really weird comic-related theft and destruction stories that happened this week. Starting with Times Square. Ruggs, did you see the story of a man who leaped through a plate glass window, second-story window at Midtown Comics in Times Square on earlier this week?
No.
You didn't see this? Okay.
Was it during Comic-Con?
It was like during the week. I think it was on Tuesday.
Comic-Con was over. He couldn't take it.
He couldn't take it. Here's the story. Midtown, New York, a deranged man terrorized a popular West 40th Street comic shop before leaping through a plate glass window on the second floor and falling to the sidewalk below.
Did he have a puppet on his hand when he landed?
Also, do you think he was going for like a superhero landing? I want to know if he nailed the superhero landing. The unidentified man, witnesses said, walked away from the fall, came into Midtown Comics about 2:30 p.m., began running around the sales. The owner said the guy must have been strung out on drugs. He bolted around the store and then jumped out the window. He was not wearing tights or a cape. He just ran around.
And he didn't die?
No, he got up and ran off with a few cuts. He fucking jumped through it. Like this shit you see in the movie. I thought that was crazy.
I can't even believe that happened.
I want to believe that he had a perfect 3-point superhero landing. It was like, nailed it. And then just
he landed like Iron Man does.
Yes. He was clearly doped up, witnesses
that's
said.
What you meant by the superhero.
Superhero landing. Haven't you always wanted to jump out of a second floor plate glass window? Let's be honest. I've had thoughts.
I never want to jump out of anything made out of glass. jump into it. Nothing.
I just want that cool moment in the second when you're in the air and there's glass around you. And then after that, it gets bad because then you got to land. And if you don't know how to land, you're going to hurt yourself. Okay.
You're definitely slicing your balls off.
A little bit. That glass is going to cut. That guy was crazy. Here's another crazy story.
Speaking of glass breaking,
Marvel's chief CEO Joe Quesada had recently $239,000 worth of art stolen from his handyman.
Oh, shit.
Here's the story. Francisco Bove has been charged with third-degree burglary, second-degree theft after illegally moving into Quesada's home in Sparta, New York, and stealing a veritable treasure trove of art. According to a news report, Bove was contracted by Quesada as a handyman to repair water pipes at his home while he was away with his wife. Bove instead covered Quesada's security cameras with towels, illegally moved into the residence with his girlfriend. According to police reports, Quesada's wife noticed the camera transmissions were black and asked a friend to investigate. Upon discovering the cameras had been deliberately blocked, Quesada immediately called Bove, fired him, demanded he leave, and then when they got home later, they found their collection missing, which I said was valued at $239,000, which is Rare Comics original art. They have the guy, Bove has admitted to the theft, is currently awaiting extradition to Sparta, New Jersey.
What an idiot.
Why would you do that when he knows it's going to be you, of course?
Yeah.
You're the fucking handyman.
You're the dumbest person on earth.
That guy is truly a dumb criminal.
That's why he's a handyman.
That's
not like, listen, not to denigrate handymen, but I mean,
they do good for people.
Yes. I mean, they can do a lot of good shit that I can't do. I mean, but I'm just saying.
I can't fix pipes, but
I feel bad for saying that.
The handyman, send your tweets to @ReallyRugBoy on Twitter.
My uncle's a handyman. If he listens to this,
I thought you come from a long line of handyman, Ruggs.
I'm Candyman.
Candyman. Don't say that 3 times in the mirror. Whatever you do. I heard really bad things happen.
You like bees?
You like bees?
Bees.
Bees come out of your mouth.
Bees go out of your mouth.
And then finally, this happened overnight at my local comic book store, Pastimes Comics in Niles, where I still occasionally go like once a month. Our buddy, I barely don't go there anymore. Like, this is the store that, because Anthony and I religiously used to go every Wednesday, have these geeky conversations in the car ride, where we decided to start a podcast. This store is responsible a little bit for the creation of the Jock and Nerd podcast. Well, on Facebook, Dwight Hedstetler, I don't know how to say his name. He's awesome. He works there. He posted these photos of, look at this, Rugs. There's a fucking SUV drove into their store.
The fucking big car in there.
That is a big SUV. And I was like, oh, holy shit. I thought it was another smash and grab.
Like, he went in at least like fucking 40 feet before he hit the brakes.
Yes, he went, like, he's in the middle. It's a big store. He is he's like in the middle of the store. He's almost at the other end of the store.
Yeah, he went in super deep.
I'll put these photos in the show notes. You see, he went through brick and glass. Here's what Dwight posts as an update. He says, "Hi, everyone. Thanks for your concern. Everyone is fine. Cleanup is pretty much done. The driver was a Vietnam vet that had one of those handicap vans that have the buttons on the wheel. He accelerated once he hit through the brick out of panic. We're not sure what happened to him. He wasn't trying to steal anything. He was taken to the hospital. Nothing super valuable was destroyed. Everyone is good spirits." So, luckily, no one got hurt. Nothing was stolen. But the guy's car joystick freaked out, I guess. Was he got like an Xbox controller on his fucking steering wheel? I don't know.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I didn't know they had these vans with the buttons, but
I mean, that's what I drive.
But poor guy. You know what? Do you ever jump in those carts at like the Target that's for like people that can't walk around too well? And
yeah, little scooters.
Yeah, and just pretend like that you can't walk around and just
pretend.
Oh shit!
Fuck you, Imran.
I love driving around to make people get shit for me from the top shelf. It's some of the best fun I've ever had. I'm glad nobody got hurt at my comic book shop. I'm gonna have to pay them a visit. But craziness, I thought it was a weird crime way, crime wave.
Well, that was like an accident more than a crime.
Yeah, it was not an accident. There's a crime. There's destruction. Yeah. There's no crime, but just weird shit going on. That's it for the news, everyone. I got an email from a loyal listener and supporter, Jimmy Graben formerly of the Northern California Newsroom. He's a high school guidance counselor now. Jimmy writes, "Hey there, fellas. I realize I haven't emailed you for a while, so just wanted to check in, let you know how much I've enjoyed your recent shows, notably the What the Fuck Happened to Daredevil with Delhauer. So just a few tidbits I wanted to share as this week. He has nerd items and jock items. I will save the jock items.
No rug boy items?
Look, you are in on the nerd items. You could do both, but I'll save the jock items for when Anthony comes. Yeah. Somebody send rug boy items. Here's the nerd items. Imran recently posted a link to an article talking about the animated series that got it right. Not included on that list are two of my favorites, Batman the Animated Series and Spider-Man the Animated Series. I just got done watching Spider-Man again, and I have to say, Christopher Daniel Barnes, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, still holds up pretty damn well. Imran, would love to get your thoughts on that series. And I agree. I like Christopher Daniel Barnes' take on Spider-Man. He played Greg Brady in the Brady Bunch movie.
That's correct.
That's what you know him. But he's definitely up there as one of the better Peter Parker voice actors. What do you think, Ruggs?
I enjoyed the show.
It was a good 90s show.
I mean, some of the character designs were dubious. And some of the animation was wonky at times, but
it wasn't
overall, yeah. It was, if you look at it, the whole scope of it, it was actually pretty good version of Spider-Man.
Absolutely. And it was like the young adult Spider-Man. It wasn't a high school Spider-Man. It was closer. They pulled in all the characters and tried to stay pretty accurate to like their costumes and the way they were drawn. Like I appreciated that.
It was it was very square.
Square?
Yeah, it wasn't like it wasn't a cool cartoon.
No.
Like it was kind of like, you know, it kind of was really dorky.
a little morally, too much morally, holier than thou, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, a little dorky, but like still, I liked it. I think it was true to the essence of Spider.
Definitely had the essence of the character. Jimmy, if you want to know more about all my thoughts on all Spider-Man TV shows, I don't know if you've listened to episode 16. Go way back to episode 16 called History of Spider-Man on the Small Screen. And we go through like every iteration from the Electric Company, all the cartoons to the 70s show with little bits of music.
I wasn't on this one.
You weren't?
No,
it was me and Anthony. It was me and Anthony.
Anthony doesn't count. He didn't say anything.
It's a good show. I've been watching the new Spider-Man show. It's not bad on Disney XD. I kind of like it. They very quickly, they've already, like, within the first five episodes, they've introduced the symbiote and the black costume. Like, shit moves quickly on this show, but it's that thing where they're all like in high school. So it's not a bad show. I'm enjoying it. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, maybe I'll get around.
Check it out. Okay. So, and then he says, can we please get a quick mention of how ridiculously terrible this new season of Gotham is? Even though I can't stop watching it, it's just so awful that I love it. I feel like you feel me on this, Imran, because you've said the same thing. We're too far in now to give up. I think Delhauer could put together a what the fuck happened to one of these season 4 episodes, namely Bruce's rubber mask and the fact that he can all of a sudden take on 5 fully grown men in a street fight all at once. There is so much more, but I don't want to bog down this email even more than it is. Ruggs, have you been watching Gotham? I agree with Jimmy. I can't not watch it because it's fucking batshit crazy and entertaining.
This is where I'm at right now.
Okay.
I haven't watched them all.
Okay.
But I fast forward to like 2 parts that I want to see. Because like if I know like pretty much something's going to resolve itself, I don't even bother with it. Like the Scarecrow subplot, I just fast forward. I'm like, okay, I'm like, I know, like he's gonna get him, and then that's it. It's gonna be.
You're right. That's pretty much all that happens, and that gets wrapped up like right
away.
I'm
like, okay, let me just this is completely a waste of my time. So then I fast forward to all the Bruce Wayne stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck, Ra's al Ghul? What the hell is going on? And it was just weird.
Dude, in the first 3 episodes, you see him taking on like 5 guys at a time, like Jimmy wrote, taller than him with guns. Like when did he learn to disarm people and fucking fight like this? This is ridiculous.
Well, when you have a butler and you just do like
did Ross teach him
a month of training,
Alfred taught him like how is this possible that this skinny ass fucking kid?
You train for 3 months. And you can kick anybody's ass. That's what I learned.
Holy shit! And then like
just 3 months.
That's all you need. The one thing I kind of like is Lucius Fox is kind of onto them. They were like, he's like, why are you all scratched up and got dust on you? He's like, they're like rock climbing, And he shows up and he's like, look, I made you something for your rock climbing. And he gives him this fucking suit with Kevlar and a communicator.
It looks terrible.
And hands that stick, right? Okay, so this suit only has a hood and a little communicator. And Alfred's like, oh, Master Bruce, you have the mask I made you. And then this mask is the front. It's just the front of a Batman cowl. It's not even all the way around. And it just looks ridiculous. But in the beginning, he's outed so many times. Like, they've pulled his he gets caught, they pull his mask off. Like, when Batman shows up, how are people not gonna fucking know who it is? It's gonna be so obvious.
The show is complete garbage.
Penguin is handing out crime licenses. Like, you can do crime, but you have to sign up for like a permit. And everyone's like, I gotta like, what the fuck is this?
They have like a library card with like a little like box checked off on it.
They're like, you can kill, rape, murder, and pillage, but you cannot do this.
Oh my god,
what
this is
the fuck?
This is like the bottom of the barrel bullshit. But for some reason, it's more fun to watch than some other shows.
It absolutely is. Like, I can't stop watching because I'm just like, what the fuck are they gonna do this?
I'm like, when I'm to the point where I fast forward this stuff, we're really on thin ice right now.
Oh no.
Like, I just watch it to hate watch it right now. Like, going like, I'm just to see how. I don't even care what happens. Like, they've already urinated all over Bruce Wayne.
Exactly, which is what.
And Batman's like legend. I don't even know what I could even say.
Yeah. At this point,
it's like I have to see it. It's like watching Donald Trump do a speech.
You're like, I gotta.
You have to see it, even though I don't. I'm not gonna like anything that's gonna happen.
Oh shit! You know what? That's the perfect analogy. Gotham is like a Trump press conference, a horrible train wreck that you can't turn away from because you don't know what the fuck is gonna happen.
Like, all you do is like after both, you're just enraged and confused.
You're after both. You're like, what did I just watch? What just happened? What was that?
Did they plan that?
Did they mean to do that? Did he mean to say that? I don't understand. That's exactly right.
Why are you making things worse?
You're just like,
why are you putting people through this?
That's what you get after watching both things.
It's like there's fucking Batman's a slam dunk. How do you fuck Batman?
How do you fuck up Batman is a good question. Like, I don't understand what they're doing. What are they doing? Like, is he going to be Batman by the end of the season? Like, what are you doing?
Oh, fuck this show.
Oh, my God.
But I'm going to watch.
But I cannot watch it. Edward Nygma was frozen and now he's out, and that could be fun. And like, you got to hand it to them that like it fucking moves. Like, shit happens too much almost every episode where everything just fucking turns.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous.
But he looks like the Gimp a little bit.
But like, when you watch Game of Thrones,
yes, you
realize like, this is all really horrible.
Game of Thrones definitely has ruined a lot of television. The guy playing Ra's al Ghul, by the way, is Prince Doran of Dorne from season 5 of Game of Thrones.
That is correct.
There's your Ra's al Ghul, and he's good in the Game of Thrones, which we will talk about next week. Jimmy the Geek, thanks for writing in. I will ask Anthony your jock questions when he returns. And thanks to everybody for listening. Ruggs, any final thoughts?
No.
Ruggs, let me ask you this random question. Is it true in that Nas song when he says, life's a bitch and then you die? That's why we get high, because you never know when you're going to go. Is that true?
I don't know. Did you just come up with that?
I did, and I hope it's true, because then I've been living my life the proper way, according to Nas, if you know what I mean.
Can you break that down for me? Because I don't even know what Nas is talking about.
Nas says, life's a bitch and then you die. That's why we get high, because you never know when you're going to go. It's a refrain, meaning he repeats it over and over again during between the verses.
So life is a bitch, so basically saying that life sucks.
And then you die.
And then you die. So you have to get fucked up because life sucks.
And you never know.
And you never know when you're going to die.
When you're going to go, you never know.
So you might as well be fucked up.
Stay high as a kite all the time. I believe that's his advice.
That's terrible.
Not good advice? All right.
No, because life sucks, but it's also great at the same time. No matter how shitty, I'm going to steal a Louis C.K. Bit.
Turn it around. I got dark. Turn it around on me.
All right. Like, no matter how shitty your life is, you're still on Earth. You could eat stuff.
Yeah, you
could
person.
see stuff.
Yeah.
You could watch stuff. You could still have experiences just because you're not having the full, like, fucking cock diesel, like, celebrity, like, fuck around with everything and own the world experience or whatever. Doesn't mean you have to be fucking all pissed off. Look at me. I'm fucking made out of felt.
Yeah, and I don't...
Got 6 teeth.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I need a constant person around me to help me with everything.
Just to operate. Yeah. Just...
Yeah. But I watch lots of fucking shit on TV and it entertains me. I eat a lot of garbage. Drink. I do all this stuff. And, like, you know, it's, so life's not a bitch. It's just, you might not have the life that you, think that you want, but you have the life that you deserve. Probably.
Good. That's good words, Ruggs. I needed that. Thanks for that. See, we brought it all back around. You are not full of bullshit. You're not full of
You still have experiences. You still have something you can add to the world if you wish. Look, I made a fucking podcast.
I know.
Look, I'm on this fucking podcast. Some asshole right now is driving around listening to this shit going, why him? Why listen to this douche?
But you asshole listener, you are
Rug Boy approved. Yeah.
And
I'm not calling you an asshole. I'm just saying, like, we're just all assholes in this.
We're all assholes, but life is not a bitch. But
they know what I mean.
Yes.
Like, maybe they don't know. Maybe I'll get a hate mail now.
Look,
you figured I'd get hate mail by now.
No, if you haven't gotten it by now, I think you're safe to say whatever you want. But listen, thanks for the uplifting, felty words, Ruggs. There's a great way to end the show after I got all dark and
wow, what's the reason for this darkness?
I don't know. You know, life throws you curveballs, and you got to move on, and stuff's just crazy. Which is, you know, like I said in the beginning, the show is therapy, and this was great therapy for one of these days, listener. You know what? One of these days, I'm going to disclose all the crazy shit that's gone on while I've been podcasting, and I've still managed to put an episode out. And a lot of it just deals with hospitals, stories in hospitals. But I would love to let the listener know it's pretty crazy.
Look, another aside. This is not a Louis C.K. bit. This is a Rug Boy bit. When no matter what happens to you, the worst shit can happen to you. But if you survive, if you're still if you're there, part of you is still there, then you're eventually going to move on. And if you want to. Right?
Yeah.
So, like, let's say, like, shit that happens to everybody. What's shit that happens to tons of people?
You get fired from your work.
You break up with your girlfriend.
You break up from your girlfriend, yes.
All right,
yes.
Your girlfriend, like, fucks your dad. Okay, or something, like, whatever.
I saw a video like that once.
All right,
okay.
Yeah, but after that's over with, you know, and you're still there, and now you can do more stuff. You could go and continue with your life. You don't have to just hang it up because something bad happened to you. And that's what people are doing now. Everybody's getting so caught up in being wronged or having things happen. They don't realize they're still there and they can have more life to live and they just move on.
There's still the future. There's still experiences to be had. And that's all in your hands, in your control.
Like you lose a leg, you still got a leg.
Got another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like Jimmy writes at the end of this email, you got to keep jocking and nerding.
We do.
Keep spoiler alerting. All right, that got weird at the end, but whatever. Thanks for listening.
You're going to cut all of this out.
Oh, it's staying in. It's a short show as it is. Ruggs.
Yeah, we got to stretch it.
Where can the listener find you?
Oh, the only place. You won't find me on the fucking Facebook group. You won't find me on my website. You won't find me anywhere except for Twitter. That's the only thing I can tolerate for the moment.
That's the only platform that will have you also.
Yeah.
What is it? What's the Twitter?
It's Really Rug Boy.
At Really Rug Boy.
Is it at Really Rug Boy?
Well, you add someone, but it's Really Rug Boy is the account.
Yeah, it's Really Rug Boy on Twitter. I tweet nonsensical things. My current tweet status is I read something from what's his name? What is that dude? Max Landis.
Oh yeah,
where he was apologizing for saying somebody was Rey was a Mary Sue in Star Wars.
Yeah, that was like a long time ago.
I'm like, first of all, you talk about a fucking fictional character. You're apologizing because they're like, oh, because it's a gender specific thing. I'm like, all right, but okay, let's say you take out the word Mary Sue. and you just say that she's really good at everything, you're still basically saying the same thing. It's just a phrase that's coined to describe what you're saying. And I'm like, why would you apologize for that? For using that term, because now he's socially woke or something. I'm like,
oh shit, now, he's woke.
But I'm just saying, like you have to, so only a certain kind of person can say a certain kind of thing, and I don't know. I just don't understand the apology for everything, and I just don't even know like what you can say anymore.
No,
like at what point in time can you comment on something?
I think it's
and not get shit.
I think it's safe to just apologize after every sentence, just no matter where you are.
Yeah,
you might as well.
I think I should apologize. I'm constantly should be apologizing. I should just not even be alive and just apologize.
Exclusi. Is that at Up to My Knees on Twitter? Is Max Landis?
Yes.
Max O'Lantern. Boy. You think he read your tweet?
He was apologizing for mansplaining or no, he was talking about somebody mansplaining his mother. And I'm like, and he went on this whole tangent about like, so anyway, so he was calling someone out for mansplaining his mom, who's like explaining to his mom who designed the Indiana Jones the costume.
Yeah. I saw something about that.
Yeah, so some guy was like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." I'm like, but that's the internet. Every fucking asshole comes out.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with whether he's a man and he's talking down to you. People just talk down to each other all the time, regardless. Yes. Do you think that I sit there and go, hey, that guy's a dude, I'm going to respect what he says? No, if I don't agree with you or if I think you're a douche, it doesn't matter like what gender you are or what you, I don't know. I just feel like that in order for people not to have to win an argument, they just say, oh, well, you're being like that because of that. And then boom, you're all of a sudden.
That's it. They're shut. You got nothing.
You can't, you have nothing to say.
God, it's such a weird world.
I'm like, yeah,
the world's become
so
strange.
It's possible that this guy was maybe not believing you or trusting this woman because it was a woman. I don't know. That's conjecture at best. But now to go on. So anyway, so he called this guy out. And then immediately some other fucking jerk off comes in and comments and go, well, you said this about Mary Sue, about Ray. And that's like being blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, he unequivocally like retracts that. And he should never use that language. And oh my God, I take it all back. I'm like, don't apologize for that. This is ridiculous. What are we doing now? Like, I can't. Why are we even doing a podcast, Imran?
I don't know.
Should we be commenting on anything?
We can't. You can't. Just apologize right now.
I'm sorry I said anything ever.
I take back everything I said for the last 190 episodes. I love this one tweet he has. He goes,
should we just do that at the end of every episode so we're scot-free?
Yes. I'll record a disclaimer.
All right, yeah, we should do a disclaimer.
Listen, this is a fictional podcast. None of this is real. We're all made up people.
I'm a fictional character. Yeah, Rug Boy doesn't exist.
You are a fictional character. I love this one tweet. He goes, retweet if you are a stupid motherfucker who does not give a fuck. It's great. It's fantastic. Oh, my God. Yeah, the world is weird, listener, and we hope we can provide you with a little bit of entertainment and escape in these fucking strange times, because I can barely keep up with it. I
can't even like read anything anymore without just being completely confused and perplexed and like, and just, I don't know.
I don't know what's real anymore. It's very strange. What is real is our show and where you can find it. If you're a new listener, subscribe on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, leave us a review, leave us some ratings. You can find us everywhere you can find podcasts. And most importantly, listener, tell a friend. Spread the geekery. Thanks for listening to the Jock and Nerd Podcast. My name is Imran.
And my name is not Anthony.
He's the Rug Boy.
And he's the nerd.
We'll catch you next time.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Ah, yes. I see that you know your judo well.
Nerd.
Whoa, he just blew his head off. Oh shit, there's disco balls. Oh my God, he's dancing with his head bleeding. There's giant type on the screen. There's even more giant type on the screen. What the fuck? All right, I seen enough.